And a good Wednesday morning to you all as we kick things off with Tuesday's KBO Golden Glove Awards. Now, a lot of the winners this year weren't so surprising, including Kang Min-ho of the Lotte Giants, who won the catcher's category, and Park Byung-ho, who received over 96% of the vote. But for a couple of LG Twins players, it was a day to remember. Now, first off, over on the designated hitter category, Lee Byung-gyu becomes the oldest winner at 38 years, 6 months, and 15 days as he wins his 6th Golden Glove Award. Now, despite his age, he's been one of the best hitters in the league. Meanwhile, Park Yong-taek, the center fielder for the LG Twins, won the outfielder category as he got very emotional up on stage after winning his 3rd Golden Glove Award. And staying in domestic baseball, a day after becoming the highest paid manager in the KBO, Samsung Lions manager Ryu Jung-il was named the head coach of the 2014 Asian Games team on Tuesday. Now, the Samsung manager, who has 3 Korean Series titles in his resume, will be leading the Asian Games team during the 2014 Incheon Asian Games, with hopes that it'll be a better stint than his WBC head coach days earlier this year. Now, the KBO agreed to make the manager of the championship team to lead the international team instead of appointing a separate manager. Now, another voting results were out, and this time it was over in the Korean Basketball League, where the 2013 KBL All-Star ballot results were revealed. And once again, it was Ulsan Mobis Phoebus point guard Yang Dong-gun who received the most votes this year after getting 46,885 votes. It's the second time in 3 years that the point guard received the most All-Star votes. Meanwhile, the second and third most All-Star votes went to 2 rookies this season, Kim Min-gu of Jeonju KCC Aegis and Kim Jong-gyu of Changwon LG Sakers, have been seeing a great success in their first year in the league. Now, the All-Star game will take place on December 22nd in Seoul. And staying in the KBL, we had one game take place last night, so let's take a look at the highlights between the Seoul Samsung Thunders and the Incheon Itilan Elephants. Now, going into the game first quarter of the game, Incheon doing a good job spreading the ball around to take a 25-20 lead before heading into halftime with a 42-37 lead. Second half of the game, Jasper Johnson putting up 17 points just in the second half, while Ricardo Powell scores 13 points in the fourth quarter. But with game tied 76-76, Incheon's Cha Ba-wi with the buzzer beater as Incheon takes this game 78-76. All right, finishing things off with some Tuesday night's VLeague action. The Samsung Hwajae Blue Fangs took on Russian Cash Vespid. So let's take a look at the highlights from Daejeon. Of course, going into the game, surprisingly, a close game all around as Russian Cash manages to keep up with Samsung's offense from the get-go. But Samsung still manages to take the first 2 sets, 25-22 and 25-23. By the third set, Arpan Baroti leading the way for the Vespid as Russian Cash forced a 4th set, 27-25. However, that looked to be all for the expansion team as Samsung dominates the 4th set, 25-14, as they take this game 3-1. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys again for your sports needs.